Hello everyone, good morning. Here we go. Hello, welcome to practice this morning. Hi, good morning Tanya. Hi everyone, hi Viz. It's a bit chilly, cold today, so I hope you have a warm space at home to do your practice. Awesome, so we'll just give it a moment for anyone who might join in to find their way to their devices. And I'll just organize my mat. Good, so I'm hoping that you guys have been having a nice week and a little bit of tapping into winter time, autumn colors in your gardens. All right, good, so find your way into a comfortable position. This could be a seated position or laying down. We're going to do a little bit of breathing, but we won't do Kapalabhati or alternate nostril breathing. We're going to just move into breath awareness. So this could be done laying down if that feels best for you today. Okay, so just find your comfortable seat. Take a moment to settle yourself and invite yourself to arrive. Been kind of the last 2 days, a wrist that ever since I was pregnant has given me a bit of attention, has become a little bit soft, just wouldn't want to say weak, but just some comfort. So I've really noticed that triggering in my nervous system. So I thought today we can work on some tools when we feel that spike on the nervous system, because I don't tend to have day-to-day or commonly like injuries like that, and when they do come, I notice that instant response from my nervous system, and I feel much more clouded in my mind, and I feel very very responsive. So in terms of self-care, kind of placing a balm into the nervous system, coming from a place of physical pain or other levels, obviously. So I thought, I don't think I've practiced this with you guys before, so I thought we might just explore it today and just see what feels for you. All right, so take a nice place and seated or laying down position. And then take a moment to allow yourself to just takes that bit of time to be aware of what you're doing, what you were doing before, where you're going towards, and then just slowly allow yourself to know that this is where you are right now. How is your body settling into this position? Do you need any extra support wherever you're placed? Do you need any internal support to find yourself in a place of ease? And just take those little micro movements to just find the right space. I've arrived. I've landed. I'm settling. I'm still in the process. Where am I? And then welcoming that soothing, comfortable breath. Just watching and sensing the ear filtering in into the body and leaving the body. Notice the qualities of your breath. Slightly cooler in the inhalation and slightly warmer in the exhalation. Notice the texture of your breath. A little sharper in the inhalation and a little smoother in the exhalation. And just draw your awareness deep down into your belly. And I'd like you to visualize as if your nose or your mouth, wherever you're breathing with, is right at the center of your navel, right into the center of your belly. And visualize, imagine that you're simply breathing from your belly. The center of igniting, of transformation, transmutation. So as best as you can, and if it resonates with you, visualize the sense of breathing becoming clearer and clearer from this energetic space. Mainly known as the solar plexus, known as Manipura chakra, and our sense of self, and also related to the element of fire. You know, that flash of light of transformation. Just continue sensing into that connection to your energetic center through your breathing and your visualization. And then just allow that to come more to the background of your arrival experience. And we're going to do a little bit of rocking with the head. So if you're seated, you can stay here and do a little bit of rocking side to side of the head. But if you're laying down, you might feel much more connection to the head, as if you have that very gentle rocking, side to side, allowing the head to liquefy and simply rock side to side. Now you go to one side, you give it some weight. And as you go to the other side, again, just giving it some weight. Very fluid, quite easeful. Give yourself all the support that you need. And if you're laying down, your knees might also come together in the movement. If you're seated, maybe your trunk also follows your spine. And just continue for a moment, creating this sense of liquid, fluid, into the circle or containment of the head and through the spine. Just keep moving, keep flowing and exploring. Still in the background, the connection to your breath. And you can stay there. If it felt like a very nice rocking for you, you can stay here. If you feel that you want to experience more stillness, you can begin to slow down the movement and just slowly begin to find a pause, so it's not abrupt. It's just a very tender slowing down. And then sense where you've landed. Center your attention on your breath. And we're going to place our right hand to the left shoulder and the left hand right underneath the ribs. So a little wrapping sense. You can do this laying down. If you're laying down, you're absolutely fine. So as if you're just having that sense of wrapping yourself, and you're going to let the head tilt just a little side and maybe bow a little bit forward. And just connect again to that sensation. Maybe you're still in stillness, but that same sensation of liquefying or ease and comfort, the element of water and fluids in the brain, the circumference of the head. So you were just hugging a friend. And imagine what would it feel like if you would be like this for a whole hour. Just as a thought. Go. So whenever it feels right for you, we're going to explore that a little bit further in a moment. So just feel free to relax your hands, and we're going to do our initial starting up with 3 Oms and 3 Shantis. So feel free to join in if you like. And just take a nice breath in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Good. Just come over to a child's pose now. So let's come over to the back of our mat and begin to just find a little bit more movement through our body. So let's come over to the back of our mats. You can separate your knees hip width distance, even wider. If you feel that you want to expand through the pelvis, you can do so. And you can bring your forehead towards the ground or support your forehead with your forearms. So take a moment to settle into this place. Just be aware how your knees are feeling, your hips. And without doing too much, allow yourself to rest and be. So as I mentioned before, my energy today is more in the sense of soothing, nurturing, as I'm nursing my wrist these days. So I really thought about, so what tools, more visceral and practical tools, can we touch into when we need this soothing balm? So just connect to that nice belly breath that we talked about, as if your nose or your mouth would be right into your belly. Good. So from here, let's come over to our hands and knees, and we're going to find our way to a bit of undulation into the spine. So place your palms under your shoulders. I have my right hand a little bit bent, so I'm protecting my wrist, but you can find yourself into a supported position, and then finding your support onto the knees, creating a slow rhythm in your breath, so your breath begins to guide the movement. So I invite you to explore the roundedness of the spine, perhaps on your exhalation, and the extension of the spine through the inhale. And can you invite your breath to be slow, rhythmical, and as smooth as you can, as if you could actually see the edges of your breath. Imagine them being very smooth, and those same edges are shaping your body. That same smoothness, the quality, same quality. And let's take just maybe 2 more breaths into these undulations into the spine, being very friendly to all parts of your body, especially those that are more vulnerable. And then go to child's pose. And you're ready, just raise back. We're just going to be there just for a breath. So just a little softening into the arms. And then we're going to first inverted B. So just take your time to come up. So we talk quite a bit about alignment in some of my other classes. I might skip those cues today so we feel more into the body. But just make sure that you feel supported. One of the things I find is the felt sense of being supported does create more sense of harmony. So place your palms as spreading the fingers so they're supporting your arms and your wrists. Just when you feel ready, begin to tuck your toes under, take a breath, and as you exhale, begin to lengthen your spine back and up. You can pedal a little bit of your feet, a little bit of rocking side to side. Have a feel of your legs. How are your legs feeling today? Your hamstrings, your pelvis, maybe you're wagging
your tail a little bit side to side. And then begin to walk your feet forward so your hands can find your feet, and do a forward bend, just softening the head. Have a deep bend on the knees so there's support for your thighs, from the thighs to the rib cage. Good, just take a nice big breath here. And then we're going to begin to climb vertebrae by vertebrae. So lower the buttocks, hug your belly, and begin to slowly stack one vertebrae at a time. Just slowly, slowly. Feel the support of your feet rooting into the ground as you press down and coming slowly up. As you arrive, roll your shoulders and taking a slow, deep breath. Good, so let's come over to our standing position and just wake up a little bit of our feet. So let's do a little bit of rotation onto the feet. So starting off, a little bit of tapping side to side, so we feel the weight of our body shifting from side to side. Distributing the weight of our body evenly through the edges of the feet, the balls of the feet. And then can I transfer that support up, not only down, but up to the crown. And then once I find a side that I'm comfortable, I'm going to lift that other foot and then do a little bit of circling into the ankle. Just a little rotation. And then shifting over to the other side until I find I can lift and do a little rotation. Good. And then placing the foot down. And we do a little rocking of the feet forward and back, tapping into the balls of the feet and onto the heels. Nice and gently. So we always do this one in my classes. I really enjoy doing balancing poses. And you can play with bending knees and only lifting the heels. As if you would have strings on your hands and you feel that you're lifting. Good. And just finding a standing position. Pausing there for a breath. And let's wake up the spine now. So, more because we already started doing some movements. So extension of the spine. I'm going to bring the arms to the side, and as I reach my fingers down towards the ground, spiral the thumbs back. Begin to raise your arms very slowly overhead, so feel the length of your spine and the muscles around the spine lengthening, and release gently. I'm going to do that 2 more times. So you can always close your eyes. Feel the support of the feet, reach your fingers out. Spiral your thumbs. Notice how your shoulders feeling today. Your shoulder blades. Good. Sense a sense of space, providing freedom into your body as you create some movement. You can always increase the bend of the knees to help you lengthen. Good. So after you do that last one, we're going to pause and we're going to do the self-care embrace. Again, so the other side. I'm going to bring now my left hand to my right shoulder and my right hand wraps underneath the rib, and I can tilt my head a little bit to the side and soften the head a little bit forward. And if you remember that rocking of the head, that sense of liquefying or fluidity in the brain, the circle around the head, and perhaps the torso also becomes part of that sense of fluidity. Just see what it feels like to you. That soothing balm of the breath and the comfort of your arms. Now, the quality of the palms is also very important. What is the quality of the touch? Good, so let's release the arms by the side. And we're going to do that self-care embrace a few times during our movements. So let's come over to the front of our mats. And let's place our feet supportive, so they support the pelvis. So have a good feel of yourself in a standing position. Again, now that you're waking up your feet, you're waking up your spine. Just feel that connection from the ground to the head to the sky, like a conduit of energy through your whole spinal column
Connect to the supportive breath. So we talked about the active breathing several times through class. Take a nice inhalation, expanding evenly from the bottom, from the belly, ribs, and the chest. And exhale slowly, cooling the lower belly, followed by the ribs and the chest. And there's a slight squeezing at the bottom. And just continue doing that 2 more times. So just feel a sense of hugging in through the lower belly without meaning to be too forceful or tight. Just a little wrapping, little bit of wrapping of the abdominal muscles. So just onto that last breath. And let's prepare ourselves for our movements. So take a nice inhalation, ready to begin. And as we exhale, draw palms together at the center of the heart. Inhale, raise your arms over the head, same as you did before, or arms from the front. Exhaling, folding forward and down. Nice and gently release the head, a little bend on the knees. Stepping your right foot back, bringing the knee down, toes back. Going to come over to prayer position. Find support through the back knee, not only dipping into the frontal foot, have that sense of wrapping around your waistline. Do a little bit of a twist, so just pause here, center yourself, pelvis to head, take a breath. And just as you exhale, you're going to turn to the left. That's all we're going to do in this round, just turning, spinning, and then come back to center, inhaling. And let's do that one more time, exhaling, just turning to the left. Come back to center. And then lower your hands down. We're going to go into a half split, Ardha Hanumanasana. So I'm going to sit back towards the back heel. I'm sending evenly both hips back and begin to peel the left toes off the ground, pivoting on the heel. Can release the head, take a little bow. Again, this is all about nursing, about nurturing. So a sense of fluidity through the spine. And let's come back forward. Plant the left foot. Have support from your hands, lift the back knee and step back to inverted B. Good. So from inverted B, find support of your hands. You're creating a pathway of support. We're going to come forward into plank. So it's shifting the weight forward into the hands, lengthen through the crown. And then as you exhale, lower the knees, sliding down gently, point your toes back, sliding thighs, belly, chest, bending elbows to the side of the ribs. Resting forehead down. Let's do our first baby cobra. Press the top of the feet to the ground. Peel the chest very gently off the ground. Just open your heart. And then tuck your toes under, coming back up into hands and knees and inverted V position. Stretching back, tailbone to crown, crown to tailbone. We're going to lower both knees or step right foot forward between the hands. So just take your time to come up. And we're going to do our first warrior one. So find support of the frontal foot and the heel so it's right underneath your knee and not before it. So just slide it forward, give yourself time to align. And then lift the back knee, hug the outer hip, the right hip, hug it into the middle line of your mat, hug your inner thighs. Now once you feel supported, come up, finding warrior one position. Good, just pause here for a breath. And then we're going to come down back to standing at the front of the mat. Take a little step back, step forward, release the head in. Coming up, inhaling, bending the knees, reach your arms overhead, and exhaling, gently release. Coming to the self-care embrace. You can bring your hand to the shoulder, other hand to the rib cage, and then soften the head just for a breath. Breathe into the heart. Good, and on your next inhale, reach your arms overhead to lengthen. And exhaling, softly bending forward and down. Stepping your left foot back, bringing the knee down, toes back. Prayer position, we come into that low lunge position. So find the support of the back knee. Crown to tail, pelvic floor. Turning to the right on the exhale, so if your belly button wants to look over to the side. Coming back to center. See if you can keep that frontal knee nice and steady. Twisting one more time without forcing. And then coming back to center, hands lower, half splits. So I'm going to take a breath, and as I exhale, I'm going to sink back. Both hips go back, and I pivot on my heel, and I can bow in. Just find a nice belly breath. And then when you're ready, come forward. Push into the frontal foot to lift the back knee, and then step back to inverted V position. Pause for a breath.
Gonna prepare for plank. So slowly shift the weight forward. You lengthen through the crown, engage your core, and exhale to lower. Toes point back, sliding thighs, belly cheers. Second baby cobra. Ground the top of the feet. Inhale, lift the chest, peel it off gently. Coming back to hands to knees and finding inverted B again. Good, just pause. Tail to crown, crown to tail. You can lower the knees or step left foot, front of the mat. Look where you're going, stepping it forward. So I'm going to hug the outer hip to the middle line of my mat and hug my inner thighs. Once I'm supported, hands come up into prayer position and just pause. Let the circulation come back down, sensing your breath deepening. And then step down, forward, top of the mat, feet hip-width distance, a supportive length. And inhaling, coming up all the way. And exhaling to release. You can do the self-care embrace to the other side. You don't have to keep track. Just see where your arms go. See where they land. And you can soften your head. Just feel your heartbeat and the quality of your touch. On your next inhale, raise your arms overhead. Take your time. And exhale, folding in all the way down. Inhale, right foot steps back. Lower the knee. Hands to prayer. We're going to twist to the left. You can do same as we did before, simply twist to the left, or you can bring your elbow on top of the knee, but keep your heart to thumb level as best as you can. Crown to pelvis, pelvis to crown. Coming back up, raise your arms, inhaling, and exhaling, half splits, hands lower, sitting back to heel, peeling the left foot off the ground. Bow the head. Come forward, push into the foot to lift, inverted V position. Inhalation, coming forward into plank, hug those armpits in. Exhale, coming slowly down, sliding down, liquid, fluid. Inhale, peel the chest, ground the top of the feet. Exhale, inverted V position. Warrior one, right foot comes forward, hug the outer hip in, stabilize the pelvis, hands into prayer. We're going to go for warrior two here. Spin the back foot, center, find your seat on the pelvis. Reach your arms out. Center yourself into your feet. Maybe the feet want to hug in towards each other. We're going to go to reverse warrior. Back hand hugs the outer thigh. Press the thigh into your hand so you feel it toning. Right palm turns up and then lengthen. Reach up. Get long through the right side. You can always straighten the front leg or deep bend. See what it feels like to you. Coming straight into side angle stretch. So I'm going to bend the right elbow. Bring it right on top of my thigh. Turn the chest to the left side and reach the left arm overhead. Just find good support through the back blade of the foot. And then spin the chest down, stomach at the front of the mat. Step forward, releasing the head. On the next inhale, coming up all the way to stand. And release. Coming to the self-care embrace. Just pause for a breath. Deep breath in. And long breath out. On your next inhale, reach your arms overhead. Exhaling to fold. Inhale, left foot back. Lower the knee. Hands to prayer. Come up. Twisting to the right. You can simply turn your trunk or bring the elbow to the thigh. Your choice. Just try to align your heart as best as you can to the thumbs. Press the palms together. Good. Then warrior one, raising the arms, or crescent moon. Crescent moon would be a back bend, but it's up to you. Ardha Hanumanasana, hands come down, half splits. Sitting back, peeling the right foot off. And then step forward, lift the back knee, back, inverted V, stepping back. Come forward, plank position. Feel your core muscles hugging, wrapping through your lower ribs. Coming down slowly, fluid, coming down. As you inhale, peel the chest off the ground, and then slowly go back to find your inverted V. Left foot is going to come forward now, warrior one. So stabilize your outer hip, hug the outer hip into the middle line. Coming up, stable through your legs, pause, find your seat. Turn the back foot, warrior two. So we're going to spin out, open the hips, and then reach out. The arms are the extensions of the lungs and the heart. Go into reverse warrior. Back hand drops. Feel the back thigh press into your hand. And then send the left arm overhead. You can always straighten and pause. See what it feels for you. Coming back into side angle stretch. So elbow lands on top of the thigh. Spin the chest. Your belly button wants to turn. And then upper arm reaches overhead. Spin down. Spin the chest down. Hand lowers, step forward, front of the mat. Through an inhalation and through the legs, press up all the way to stand. And hands release. Pause for a breath, feeling the connection, the touch of your hands, softening the head towards the heart. And let's do the other side. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale to fold. Right foot steps back, hands to prayer. Going to twist to the left side, take a breath, and on the exhale to twist. As you inhale, raise your arms, warrior one or crescent moon. Half splits, hands lower, sitting back, release the head. Coming forward, lift the back knee, step back, inverted V position. Plank position, come forward as you hug your inner arms, biceps hugging. Come down, slowly flowing down. As you inhale, peel the chest off the ground, grounding top of the feet. Exhale, pressing back. Warrior one, right foot steps forward, hug the outer hip into the middle line. Coming up, prayer position. When you feel ready, turn to the left, warrior two position. Find the pelvis, the waters of the pelvis. Reverse warrior, back hand drops, and then send the top arm to open the side. Coming to side angle stretch, bend your elbows so the arm feels soft. And then reach your left arm over the head, turn your heart. Turn the chest to the floor, step forward, front of the mat, bowing in. Through an inhale and through your legs and feet, press up all the way. And release. Pause for a breath. In a comfort embrace, breathing into the heart space. Now we do our final round. Inhale to lengthen and exhaling to fold. Left foot steps back, lower the knee, hands to prayer. Take an inhale here, exhale, twist to the right. Breathe, head to pelvis, pelvis to head. Arms come overhead, inhale, crescent moon or warrior one. Hands lower, half split, sitting back to buttocks to heel. Come forward, lift the back knee, palms down, press back, inverted V. Roll forward, plank position, your arms feeling stronger and steady. Exhaling to come down all the way. With fluidity, inhale, peel the chest off the ground. And exhaling, pressing back to inverted V. Left foot steps forward. Find stability so you feel the movement much more easeful. How can I find harmony as I move with all the components of my body? Going to your reverse warrior or exalted warrior. Legs giving you support. Coming to the side angle stretch. Just keep moving through water. And then coming down, turn your chest down, step forward, front of the mat, forehead releases. On an inhale, coming up all the way. And release. Pause for a moment in your self-care embrace. Let the head release to wherever position feels right. Good. Send your awareness to any part of your body that is calling your attention, or simply the experience of being in this form. And allow yourself to soften. Good. So before we come down, release the arms by your side. And we're going to do just that shift that we did.
side to side at the start. We'll wake up our feet. We're going to do a little bit of shaking of the hands. So just shifting side to side, a little bit of shake. Might shake the foot as well. So try to connect to that belly breathing that we did at the start. That belly connection onto your breath. Just a little bit of shaking side to side to shake it off. And send to that breath, that belly breath, any feeling of lack, any feeling of feeling stuck, any feeling of I can't, any feeling of I'm not worthy. Just send it all there, all there. Just shake it off. Just keep shaking your hands. Good, and just find your way into the side of your mat. And we're going to come over to have just slowing down with it and to be too abrupt. Just slow down the movement, side to side. Let your arms simply relax. Letting the feet separate as wide as you like. Good. Just find some stillness. There's still that resonance of that movement, that activation. Maybe breathe out through the nose, through the mouth, 2 or 3 times, breathing in through the nose and out through the lips. 2 more times. Landing in a place of softening again to that soothing balm. Maybe do a little forward bend, so raise your arms over the head, and as you exhale, I'm going to fold in. The legs can be together or apart, your choice. So let's just release the forehead down, the crown down. Have a little bend on the knees, any amount, providing support for the spine to release. Arms wherever they want to be, shoulders relax. So let's count 3 to 4 nice belly breaths. Breath can be through nose or lips, whatever felt more releasing for you. Good. Just cleansing all those breaths. Good. So from our forward bend, that little bit more circulation coming towards the brain, towards the head. We're going to find our way to a little child's pose. So if your legs are apart, you can walk your way to one side, turn the foot out, and then step back. If you were at the top of the mat, the feet together, you can just step back and then sit back towards your heels. Bring your forehead to the ground and just pausing here for a few moments. And if it felt nice to, same as we did that rocking of the head side to side, you might like to experience the rocking of your head, but now through the forehead. Just that liquefying of the brain, the circle of the head, and through the whole spine. We're going to come and find our way to laying on our backs. So just gently coming over to find either Shavasana or constructive resting. And if it feels right for you, you can rest your hands on belly, heart, one on belly, one on heart. So just that connection to your hands and the quality of your touch. But complete support of the ground underneath you. You know, whatever arises for you, allow it to simply continue moving through. Give it some space.
Just a few more breaths. You let yourself arrive again into a place of softening, place of connection. Good. So whenever you're ready, let's give our body a little stretch. So you can reach your legs down and reach your arms over your head and give yourself just a nice big little stretch. And release. I'm going to bring the knees into the chest. I'm going to do a supported hip opening position, like a butterfly. So you can rest your hands onto the knees and bring the knees wide apart. So as you let the elbows drop, you let the legs follow the weight of your arms. And then just the big toes might touch, or they might be a little bit separated, allowing the opening of the hips. And you can always do a little bit of rocking side to side. Give a massage to the sacrum. And as you invite the weight of your arms to release the legs, you might want to go a little bit further to bring the arms from the inside of your legs to grab a hold of your shins. So we're just finding our way, moving our way through the hip opening position. So this might take you might go straight into it if your hips are very, very open today. You might take you a little bit of time if they're feeling a little bit tight. Okay, so either without needing to give all the attention to the hips, can I keep providing enough support from my spine, from the sacrum all the way to the base of the head? So that obviously talks to the neck, that if it's uncomfortable, if I'm arching the neck, am I creating any compression there? So do any movement that helps you get right into the place of comfort, of support, and freedom in your body. Some of you might even be open enough to grab a hold of your ankles by now. The hips have relaxed much more. Or even cup your feet. Those very flexy people out there. My hips tend to be open. But yeah, sometimes it feels right. Sometimes it doesn't feel right to open too wide. Just see what feels good for you now. And if it felt like a good place of connection, if you experienced something that felt a good place of just placing your attention, if you like, or centering, if that belly breathing or visualizing either your nose or your mouth right at the solar plexus, you can use this now because it is involving very much this region of our bodies, this form. So we see what it feels like to breathe in this experience, this form now. Good. Just a couple of more breaths. Now this quality of your touch reflected in the quality of your mind and the quality in your breathing. Wherever I'm placing my attention, what is the quality of that attention? Is it a soothing balm? Is it a demanding voice? Is it a friendly touch? Good. So from here we're going to begin to release. So you can slowly shift your hands through your ankles, shins, knees, and then just slide the legs together. Do a little bit of rocking. We're going to do a little twist. So release one foot down and then the other. We're going to shift the hips off center so that when the time that we twist, the lower hip is in the center. So in order to shift to the right, to twist to the right, you need to shift your hips to the left. So lift your buttocks using your feet, shift them to the left, and then you can slide your knees over to the right.
And as you find the place where you land, explore what it's like to try to anchor your shoulder blades to where you find the place. And case can be made how high your knees would come towards your belly, how far down. Maybe legs are straight, maybe they're bent. So open up to your creativity. Have that okayness to find your way. What feels right, where your arms want to be, where your head wants to land. And then once you settle, I invite you to take an exploration to the connection and extension of your heart and your lungs towards your arms and your hands. Sometimes you can sense a very subtle pulsation in the palms or on the fingers. And in that pulsation, I continue arriving in a place of softness. Whatever this pulsation is informing me, so this will be our last breath on this side. So I'm going to slide first the top leg to lift, so the bottom one follows. Coming back to center, and I'm going to shift the hips now to the other side, so you need to slide them first to the middle line, so it's very clear for you. How do you shift them to the right as your legs go over to the left? And finding where is that place of softening and arrival for my legs, for my arms, my head. Take a little sigh. Clear out any dust that is avoiding for you to see clearly, in every sense of the word, where you need to be. If you like that connection to the pulsation, just let the pulsation inform you. The apparent stillness of the external body, but how there is still aliveness and movement internally. We're going to take our last breath here. So with ease, coming out, and then just take your time to pause for a moment in a shavasana or a constructive resting. Now give all the weight of your bones and muscles and organs to the ground, as if the earth would be breathing through you. Being Earth Day yesterday, how soothing it is to really feel connection to the earth. And then once you're ready, give yourself a little stretch, that reset to the body. Just stretch, 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 and release. So let's roll over to the side and find just a seated position. Going to come over to find Janusirsasana. It's a one-legged forward bend.
So as I always do, I like to have a little cushion or a blanket to fold onto the extended leg. So I'm going to start with my left leg stretched out, see which one you would like to work with first. So my left leg is stretched out, so my right knee is bent, and I'm bringing it to the inner part of my left thigh. And this could be to the thigh, maybe to knee level, depending how that goes, or you might need the cushion underneath your right leg. So I'm going to just face the extended leg, so I can turn my trunk and my heart towards the leg. Find agreement first, from the pelvis to the top of the head. And then when you're ready, inhale, raise your arms, lengthen through the spine, and then begin to slowly hinge forward, tilting from your pelvis like a big bowl of water as you come slowly into your forward bend. Landing that first layer of arrival. And if you still have that resonance in you of that activation or pulsation, perhaps even the rocking of your head when you started, maybe you were seated or you were laying down, and there's that very gentle swaying, whatever comforting space you would like to create. And forward bends, it's a beautiful space as well to really nurture the area of the solar plexus, because we focused our breathing into this space today. So the exhalation is the slowing down. It's connected to the parasympathetic nervous system. The inhale is more active, igniting. The exhale is soothing, calming, restful. So the forward bend really translates how the exhalation is massaging the solar plexus area. So if anything ignited for you when we did the activation, the jumping, the shaking, let's continue. Now that if anything has been released, moved, shifted, not that we're hunting for anything that is not there, but if anything did come up, what happens after something has shifted? Then there's that time of softening, of looking after, of replenishing. So I'm going to prepare to come out from this side. So just begin to slowly reach your arms. And as you inhale, begin to lengthen your spine as you come up. And then gently release. And now let's do the other side. So you can stretch your other leg forward, then frontal leg. And find now the other side as we align the heart to the front. And then taking your time to find the space through the spine. And then slowly shifting the weight forward. And just transferring some movement through the spine. The connection of pelvis to head, head to pelvis. As if it's just creating a compass of movement to finding your place of arrival. And then there's this softening, the sweet balm of the exhalation that is nurturing and soothing the belly. So we'll be here just a few more breaths. Notice the quality of your attention.
So we're going to prepare to come very gently out. Begin to reach your arms forward. And as you inhale, slowly lengthen the spine. And exhaling to release. Good. I'm going to come into a cross-legged position just to finish the seated part of this practice. So I'm going to just turn to the screen so you can see. You can sit on a blanket, something like a cushion. We're just going to do some side stretching and twisting on the seated position. So if you'd like to sit on something there, just for a brief moment. So starting off, just notice which leg is crossed at the front and have your hands onto your side. Find just that supportive agreement through the spine. Now feel the sitting bones firmly rooting, the crown clearly lengthening, this conduit of energy. So we're going to create first a side stretch. So the same side that your leg is at the front, that same hand goes to your side. So my arms are short, so I can't really reach the ground, so I'm just going to use the blanket to place my hands there. That will be just enough for now. I'm going to reach my arm over the head as I open the side body. Now I'm going to just sweep over to the side, creating the side stretch. You can always walk your hand further through the side. And then as you continue reaching, can you relax your sitting bones to the ground? Find this place of the bowl of your water in the pelvis, your water of emotions to soften. And the supportive hand can bend the elbow. You can provide you that side release. But continue feeling more lift as well through your upper arm. And take that one last breath, keep rooting, root through the sitting bones. And then your lower hand is going to help you to press up, coming slowly up. And then release your top arm to the opposite hip. The hand that was supporting reaches overhead, and we're going to twist to the other side. So it goes across to the opposite knee. Your back hand can turn even further or even wrap around the other hip. See where it goes now. And then slowly turn. Let the head simply turn with the chest rather than forcing your neck or getting jammed on the neck. I'll invite you to close your eyes. In the same way that you were rooting your sitting bones, have that same sense of also lengthening. Clear and clarity through the crown, through the mind. You can feel a good clear direction. Once you created space, release and movement, igniting all the upper centers for direction. Good. And then slowly reach your front arm overhead to lengthen the spine and release. Now cross the other leg at the front. And then we do stretch on the other side. So the opposite hand, reach overhead and then lean gently sideways. So I'm distributing my attention of the side that is opening, but also the side that is supporting. How am I going? So the more supported I feel, the more I can open. So I need to divide a bit of my attention. And at the same time, that rooting of my sitting bones. So I keep that connection to the earth. So I really invite you to expand your chest here. You create a lot of movement through the solar plexus. So now let's lift that energy towards the heart. Feel your rib cage. The basket of your ribs is expanding beautifully through your side. And then use your lower palm to help you come up. And then gently release your arm. Opposite arm lifts. And I'm going to twist now. And you can send your back arm even just to the side or wrap it behind you. And just center. Find a position for your head.
And at the same time that I'm rooting, continue sending those roots deep down to the earth as I lift and create clarity to the upper centers. Clear direction. Just one more breath, just really wrapping around your spine. And on your next inhale, front arm reaches up. And exhaling to release. Come over across the mat to your belly now. Just finish with a few extensions of the back. And it's always very comforting to come to rest on our tummies. It gives us a little shift of perspective of the function of gravity as well, and different relationship now to the front line of our bodies. So let the back of your body completely rest towards the front of your body, and your whole body rests into the ground. Good. I'm going to practice a few hovering baby cobras. So the hovering cobras will be obviously not using the hands. We're going to get into the pose using the hands and then release them. So slide your hands to the side of your chest where you feel you can really wrap your elbows in towards your ribcage and rest your forehead to the ground, because you want to take a bit more of the neck out of the equation. So your concentration is in your back muscles. Now, just separate the legs, not hip-width, and just maybe a little bit closer towards the center of your spine. Now I'm just going to just guide you through support of your lower back. So take a breath first, feel your belly expand to the ground, and as you exhale, let the belly hug in towards your lower back. And just do that one more time as you inhale, expand your belly. And as you exhale, hugging in. Now keep it hugging in. And inhale, lift through the chest, come slowly up. And then begin to lift your palms and your legs slowly off the ground. And exhale to release. I'm going to do that one more time. One breath for clarity. Inhale, belly expands. Exhale, belly hugs in. Keep the hugging. Inhale, lift into your hovering baby cobra. Breathe. One complete breath here. And exhaling to release. Now reach your arms over your head. We're going to do the same thing, but with the arms extended. A little bit more work for your back. Preparation breath. Breathe in. Exhale, hugging. Now keep the hugging. Inhale, lift. Whole body lifts off the ground. Press your tailbone to the ground. Pubic bone. Exhale to release. One preparation breath. Breathe in. Breathe out, hugging. With the hugging, inhale, lift. Breathe more through your chest, lifting. And exhaling, release. Now bend your knees, grab a hold of your ankles, going into bow. And do that last one again. So resting forehead down, hugging your the knees in. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, hugging. Keep the hugging. Inhale, press, kick the feet into the palms, lift. And exhale to release. Last time on the bow, we're going to hold it a little bit longer. Full breath to prepare. Inhale. Exhale to hug in. Keep the hugging. Inhale, lift. Press the pubic bone down. Kick the feet into the hands. Now stay with the breath. 2 complete breaths right to the heart space. Feel the whole stretch of your internal organs. Good. And then softly releasing. Pressing back, finding child's pose. Stretching as much as you need. Be very kind to your spine there. Do anything that feels right. Any rocking, any swaying, any circling. Take your time. Good. Just be in your body. Take a few easy, comfortable breaths.
Just let the breath move in whichever way it wants to move. Good. From here we're going to come to lay down. We're going to prepare for Shavasana. So grab anything you would like to have to make yourself comfortable. Get anything warm, comfy, fluffy, heavy light, dark light. Good. So we'll do a whole body pandiculation, a whole sort of tense and release, and then we'll just finish, before the body relaxation, we'll just finish wrapping up with some affirmations. So rest a moment there, and let's do first the tense and release. So we're going to do whole body. So begin to squeeze into the feet, squeeze the hugging muscles of the hips, the buttocks, the belly, the chest, hugging in, the fingers curl into the center of the palm, the face begins to frown. Just hug in, hug, hug, squeeze, and release. Now reach out, spread the toes, spread the fingers, press into elbows, lift the chest, open your eyes, the mouth, spread out the tongue, tense, reach, and soften. Rock the head gently, side to side. Each time you go side to side, let the head be heavy. Give it some weight, liquefy the head, the sense of flowing and fluidity. And then notice where your arms want to be, your hands, your feet, your legs. And you can stay on the rocking or find stillness as you bring your attention to whichever part of yourself that is inviting you to be in. And from that place, breathing into a sense of feeling loved, that self-care gesture, that hug, that friendliness that we give to ourselves. I am loved. I am enough. And if there could be a visualization of where we're moving towards, a goal if you like. Sometimes we visualize a goal that we need to climb something or go somewhere. If that would already be here, perhaps we need to climb down and we're coming towards ourselves rather than moving towards something. So see if that resonates in any way for you, in whichever way. It could be something external or a part of ourselves that we're processing, and to see where that lands for you. The quality of that affirmation, that concept, that thought, that breath. So let's go through the body now, touching mentally each body part as we soften it. Feel the weight of your feet and your ankles, softening the feet and the ankles. Feel the weight of your shins and calves, knees, relaxing shins, calves, knees. Feel the weight of your thighs, pelvis, buttocks, relaxing pelvis, thighs, buttocks. Feel the weight of your belly, ribs, chest, relaxing belly, ribs, chest. Feel the weight of your back body, relaxing lower back, middle back, upper back. Feel the weight of your fingers, palms and wrists, relaxing fingers, palms and wrists.
Feel the weight of your forearms, elbows and upper arms. Relaxing forearms, elbows and upper arms. Feel the weight of the shoulders, the neck and the throat. Relax shoulders, neck and throat. Feel the weight of your face features. Feel the weight of your head. Face features and head relaxing. Face features and head completely relaxed. Feel the weight of your internal organs. Intestines, pancreas, liver, kidneys, stomach, lungs, heart, throat glands, and the brain. Internal organs relax. Whole body relaxing. Whole body relax. Allow yourself to soften physically, mentally, and emotionally. And gently resting your awareness in the inner space of resources, replenishing, a waterfall of abundance within you, with clarity, with strength, and full of possibilities. Allow yourself to enjoy peaceful relaxation. Relax. 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 Gently allowing your attention to come back to your breath. Letting your heart expand, your lungs expand. The sound of your environment to begin to filter in. And take a moment to acknowledge yourself here. And when you feel ready, begin to awaken the body friendly and gently, fingers, toes. And still keeping that same state of nurturing and connection to your resources. Allow yourself to awaken the body even more. Stretching the legs together, reaching your arms over your head, and from that place, stretch the body, stretch and release. In coming to conclude our practice today, you can stay here or join in a seated position. Just take a moment to settle yourself. You can come back to that affirmation, that cultivation of I am loved, I am love, I'm enough, I can. There is abundance and safety in my life. Whatever arose for you or resonated with you in terms of soothing, of self-care, wrapping yourself into your own nurturing embrace. So let's conclude with our 3 Oms and Shantis. So feel free to join in. Take a nice breath in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Thank you all very much for joining. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye.